Okay, in this video, we'll do number 6. We are looking for the focal points of each ellipse shown below. To do that, we are going to use Pythagorean theorem in a triangle. So I need to think about drawing a right triangle from this figure, okay? The triangle shape we see between two focus and this point on an ellipse is not the shape of a right triangle. So think about forming a right angle using XY axis from the center position, okay? So we will use A squared, B squared, C squared. Somehow ABC is labeled differently, so that's why you see different notations here, okay? So don't worry about those ABC, and we will use the actual numbers here. So question number 6. Let's assume we have a focus somewhere, okay? So can I pick a point? Okay, let me pick this point as focus, all right? And I don't know where it is, so I'm going to label as C. Can I use notation C? Both are C or one is negative C? If I go with C as a variable, the other will be negative C, right? Which one is negative C? The bottom one will be negative C, right? I want to make a triangle. What triangle? Right triangle. By using one focus. Okay, do you see a right angle here? So I'm going to connect the dots here. So this is my right triangle. Use a focus and point on ellipse and draw a right triangle. Make sense? All right, now let's calculate. What is A squared, B squared, C squared? So what is the length here? I don't know what that is 3 or not yet, okay? So this will be the length of C, okay? C, all right? And this will be how many units? 4, that's right. And C squared and 4 squared will be this one, right? The hypotenuse. Do I know hypotenuse? Do I know hypotenuse? Can I double it? Okay, here. Can you tell me what is the length of this string to form this ellipse? So think about string of this, okay? Can you expand this all the way over here? Sure. Can you go all the way to the end? Yes. Is it overlapping here? Yes. So can I have one segment over here because they are congruent to each other? What will be the string length? String length is the major axis length, right? So this will be 5 and 5, 10, right? So the string length is 10. Make sense? So let's say major radius, major axis, distance, okay, distance of major axis is 10. Knowing that, what is the half of 10? 5. So this hypotenuse is actually given from the half of the string we use to draw. So this will be 5 squared. So what would be C then? 25, 16, 9. So C will be 3. So knowing that position, we can answer this is 0, 3 and 0, negative 3. Okay? So this is a little tough question because I need to think about the distance of the major axis is 10 from vertex to the vertex. And we take half of it, that will be the hypotenuse of this right triangle. So we can use the right triangle. So we can find that location. Okay? So next question is translated. We will do translation after the work, okay? So what kind of translation happened here? Center is at -1, 2. So it's not at the origin, it moved. So I'm going to thinking about the drawing a right triangle like that, and then we will consider the same way. And when I have answer, finally, I will do translation, add numbers on the coordinates. So let's think about drawing some lines passing through here, okay? Can anyone find the length of the string I'm using to focus here? This point is not exact location. I just plot the point arbitrarily, okay? So we are looking for that position. Let me label it as C. All right, so on the C from 0, okay, 0, 0. It's not 0, 0, but assume this is at 0, 0, and then let's consider this as the length of C, okay? Let's say this is C apart, okay? And what is the triangle I can draw? Okay, right triangle. So let's connect the dots, and I want to use this perpendicular line, okay? So this is going to be my right triangle. So let's think about the length of the major axis. What is the length or distance of major axis? Major axis has distance. Let's count. 8, that's right, 8. So what would be the half of that length here on the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse will be half of this, right? So that will be 4. Make sense? Why it's 4? Because we have another one here. If you draw it, and this is going to be the string to draw this oval shape, okay? Ellipse. So 4 and 4 together makes 8. So major axis is given here, so we will take half of the number. So this will be hypotenuse of the right triangle I'm using here, okay? All right, so in a right triangle, let's use Pythagorean theorem. So what is the length horizontal? I don't know, so I label C. So that will be C squared plus, what is vertical length? 1 unit, right? So 1 squared equals to hypotenuse squared, 4 squared. So this C is not a squared plus b squared equals to c squared c, okay? This C is just the length from the center to the focus, one of the focus. So what would be that number? So let's calculate. This will be square root of 16, subtract 1, so that will be root 215, right? So knowing that, I didn't draw another drawing before translation, okay? So I need to do translation now, but I didn't want to graph it, so I just draw the axis here, and I consider, okay, let's say this position is 0, 0, and then I calculate it, okay? And now let's move it. So if we have that in the actual original place, and the drawing is like that, right? And then that is the focus here, there, and then this one would be negative root 15 comma 0, and this could be positive root 15 comma 0, right? Because C is the distance from the center, and we found the distance root 15, so we can read the ordered pairs. Now I need to translate it, okay? So let's translate by doing this way, and I need to add numbers, right? So first one will be negative 1 and root 15, and 0 plus 2 will be 2, and the other position will be at negative 1 and negative 15, and 0 plus 2 will be 2. So this is after translation. So I use those numbers to adding on the new position here, okay? So this will be translated over there. So this is translation.